What if I told you in 2019 that the Cincinnati Bengals would be the third most valuable NFL franchise on SimBull? I'm sure you'd have plenty of questions like, what's SimBull? Why are you wearing that mask? And wait, the Cincinnati Bengals? Obviously, it all starts with quarterback Joe Burrow. Since being drafted first overall in the 2020 NFL Draft, Burrow has injected the Bengals franchise with life that they desperately needed. People struggle to define what the it factor is, but it's pretty clear that Joe Burrow's got it. He perfectly walks the line between confident and cocky, and he's got this alpha mentality that the Bengals have needed for years. When the 2020 season began, the Bengals opened up with a price of $14.84 on SimBull. They started the season with 2 close losses and a tie, but it was pretty clear from the beginning that things were going to be a little bit different with Burrow at the helm. From early on, it was pretty obvious that Burrow was carrying this team. His offensive line was ranked 31st in the entire league, and Joe alone here was paying the price for it. He was taking hits that would make Carson Palmer wince, and on November 22nd, it all added up as Burrow took a nasty hit and tore his ACL. From there, the Bengals season went south, and their price continuously dropped for the rest of the season. It hit rock bottom in December when you could buy a share of the Bengals for $9. It stayed at $9 for most of the month until Burrow posted a video on Twitter of himself walking. After that video hit, the price jumped back up to $17. You see the theme here? People aren't really betting on the Bengals, they're betting on Burrow. He's clearly the heartbeat of the team, and Bengals buyers believe that he can turn Cincinnati into something special. The offseason was a quiet one for the Bengals until it wasn't. They spent the first few months hovering around the $18 to $20 price range, and after a few good defensive signings, they jumped up to $25. However, everything changed on March 26. From March 26 to April 12th, the Bengals price skyrocketed from $23.91 to $45.83. It has nothing to do with anything the Bengals did, unless you think re-signing guard Quinton Spain is a game-changing move. On March 26th, the San Francisco 49ers traded with the Miami Dolphins to secure the 3rd overall pick. Since then, the Jets have shipped off Sam Darnold, and the Falcons have expressed interest in a quarterback, making it very likely that the first 4 picks in this draft will all be quarterbacks. What does that mean for Cincy? It means it's very likely that they're going to have their pick of any non-quarterback in the draft. They could draft stud offensive lineman Penei Sewell, they could reunite Burrow with former LSU teammate Jamar Chase, or really do whatever they want. At this point, it's clear that this team is Burrow's and they're going to build it around him. But at the same time, I just think they're overvalued right now. In fact, if you already owned Bengals stock, I think now is the time to sell. This has nothing to do with what I think of Burrow. In fact, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks to come out in the past few years. This just has everything to do with their current price. As I mentioned before, the Bengals are currently the 3rd most valuable NFL franchise on SimBull, yet they didn't even sniff the playoffs last year. A good draft should help out, but is one offseason going to be enough to fix everything? How can we trust this front office to build a contending team when they can't even build an indoor practice facility? As a starter, Joe Burrow is only 2-7-1. Even if he comes back 100% healthy, how do we know that's going to be enough for them to win consistently? Unfortunately, I think the Bengals are a bit of a GameStop to the moon scenario. Everyone's buying it right now because it's cool, flashy, and fun, but what's the business you're actually buying here? In my opinion, it's a solid young team with a very overinflated price. You could argue that it's a good long-term investment, but now is just not the time to buy. Think I'm wrong? Head to SimBull.app today to buy your Bengal stock and prove me wrong next year.